Hello students, today we are going to study hydraulic cylinders. So basically hydraulic cylinders are used to get a linear motion either in forward direction or in a reverse direction or in both. So in the figure you can see single acting cylinder here. So in the construction you can see there is a pressure port and there is a vent port. There are two ports are there. So through this pressure port we are going to supply pressurized oil, pressurized fluid in the chamber here. So this is the chamber, and in this chamber you can see piston is fitted and which is connected to piston rod, and this piston is fitted here with spring. So here you can see the piston seal. So what happens? So when we start providing pressurized fluid through this pressure port, this piston will start slowly moving against this spring pressure and it will move towards right. Okay, so in this way we get a linear motion. Since this is single acting cylinder, so once the pressurized fluid stops, the piston will again come back to its original position due to the spring tension. So this is how this single acting cylinder will work. Now next thing is designation of hydraulic cylinder. So you can see here 85 by 48, then 500. So that means 500 is the stroke length. So 500 is the stroke length of this piston. 85 is the diameter of the piston. So you can see here from this point to this point, that is the diameter of piston, and 48 is the diameter of piston rod. So this is the piston rod. So this is how hydraulic cylinder is designated. Now next part is hydraulic cylinder types, how hydraulic cylinders are classified. So you can see here it is divided into two types. First is non-rotating and another is rotating. So under non-rotating there are three types. First is single acting, second is double acting, and third is special design cylinder. So under single acting non-rotating cylinders you can see plunger or ram type. So under that gravity return and spring return, these are the two types under plunger or ram. Second is single acting single piston rod. So under double acting non-rotating cylinders you can see here a single piston rod and double piston rod, these are the two types. And under special design cylinders, tandem cylinder, then telescopic cylinder, then nested cylinder and special design cylinders, these are the four types under special design cylinders. So let us see one by one the types of hydraulic cylinders that we have discussed in the previous slide. So in the first figure, construction and symbol of single acting cylinder, spring loaded. So this is the single acting cylinder. You can see here single acting cylinder. Under in that, this is the piston rod. Piston is fitted against this spring pressure, and this is the port through which the pressurized fluid will come and it will go out through this port only. So this is the symbol. So we are having only one port through which pressurized oil will pass. So in the another figure, this is the ram type cylinder. So this is the ram. You can see here ram shape. So this is the body in which ram is fitted. So these are the two ports here. This is the drain port and this is the non-return valve. You can see here. So this is the symbol for ram type cylinder. You can see here only one port is provided here, and this another port is for non-return valve. So non-return valve will provide flow of fluid through only one direction. It will not allow to flow of pressurized fluid into another direction. That is the function of non-return valve. So in the another figure you can see here double acting cylinder with double piston rod. So this is the double acting cylinder with double piston rod. So you can see here there is only one piston is there, and these are the two piston rods. So we will be having forward motion as well as backward motion. So that's why it is called as double acting cylinder. Okay, so you can see in this arrow we will have a forward motion as well as in backward motion. So we are having two ports here, A and B. So when we pass pressurized fluid through this A port, the piston will move at the right side, and when we start pressurized fluid through this port B, so piston will move in the left hand side. So we will be having the motion towards the left hand side. So in this way double acting cylinder will have linear motion in two directions. Okay. Then next type is telescopic cylinder. So here you can see application of telescopic cylinder. So you can see here a dumper, and in this dumper whatever is there on this what you can say movable part, that movable part is used to move upward. So that is used for dumping. So in this particular application telescopic cylinder is used. So in the figure you can see the construction of telescopic cylinder. So you can see here there are A, B and C, these are the three pistons here. So fluid supply for rising. So this is the port through which pressurized fluid will be provided here from this end. So due to this pressurized fluid, A will start moving upwards, then B will start moving upward due to this pressurized fluid. Ultimately, this B will exert pressure on this C piston, and this C piston will start moving upwards. So this is how we will be having upward motion. And for lowering, there is another port, so we are passing the fluid through this port, fluid supply for lowering. So this will exert pressure on C, then B and then A. So this is how the piston will get lowered. So in this case, for lowering, we will be supplying pressurized fluid through this port, and we will be having another port through which the fluid will come out, so that piston will start moving downward. And this is the symbol you can see here, symbol of telescopic cylinder. Then next part is hydraulic cylinder mounting. So how hydraulic cylinder is mounted? So depending upon the application, hydraulic cylinders are mounted. So here you can see fixed mounting, dynamic mounting and mounting to the piston rod. So under fixed mounting, this is the flange at the front. Okay, this is the flange at the back side. Okay, and this is the foot mounting. So this is the L-shaped bracket, and that is fitted at the foot, or it is fitted at the ground. So under dynamic mounting, trunnion ear, then clevis, and then trunnion mounting. So these are the three types under dynamic mounting. And under mounting to the piston rod, you can see here thread with a fixed nut here. Then tongue mounting, this is the tongue mounting, and this is the clevis mounting. So this is mounting for piston rod. Next is control valves. So basically there are three types of control valves you can see in the figure: pressure control valves, then flow control valves, and then direction control valves. So under pressure control valves, there are four types, that is pressure relief valve, then directly operated valve, then pilot operated valve. So pressure relief valve can be operated by directly, or it can also be operated by piloting. So under pressure control valve, there is another type that like counterbalance valve, then pressure reducing valve, and then sequencing valve. Under flow control valve, you can see here non-compensated flow control valves, then pressure compensated flow control valve, and then temperature compensated flow control valve. So these are the three valves which will come under flow control valve. And under direction control valve, that is DC valve, 2x2, 3x2, 4x3 valves. then manually operated DC valves, then solenoid operated DC valves, then pilot operated DC valves, then cartridge valves, then check valves. Check valves are divided into three types, that is directly operated check valves, two types. Three check valves are divided into two types: directly operated check valves and pilot operated check valve. So check valve will allow to flow the pressurized oil into one direction, so it will not allow the flow through the another direction. That is the functionality of check valve. Now classification of valves based on construction. So you can see here poppet valve and spool valve. So again puppet valve is divided into three types, that is cone type, ball type and disc cut type. So under spool valve you can see here sliding pool type and rotating spool type. These are the two types under spool valve. So this is the simple 2x2 puppet valve. So here 2x2 means two position and two port. So you can see here one position, second position, and these are the two ports P and A. So that's why it is called as 2x2 puppet valve. So you can see here in the figure there are two ports P and A. This is the poppet which is fitted again against the spring pressure. So P and A, these are the two ports, and this is the push button which is provided here to operate the valve. So here you can see. Now this is the direction control valve. You can see here. Here this is the direction control valve. So basically in this figure you can see this is the reservoir, this is the hydraulic pump fitted with motor, then these are the piping provided, this is the hydraulic cylinder you can see here, and this is the direction control valve. So in this direction control valve we are having three positions, first, second and third. So you will be having three positions and four ports. So you can see here this is the four ports, first, second, third, fourth. Okay. So if we change the position of DC valve, according to that we will be having motion of cylinder. So you can see here the DC valve is at center position, so whatever oil pumped is passed to the reservoir, so we will not be having any motion forward or backward. So in second case the valve is actuated in this first position. So here this port is connected to this port, this port is connected to another port. So you will be having lifting of the oil and it will pass through this piping and to the left hand side of the piston. So piston will start moving in backward direction here, and whatever oil is accumulated here that will come to reservoir. And in the third position you can see here, now we are changing the ports here. So now this port is connected to this port. Okay, so what will happen, this port is connected to this port, oil will go through this right hand side, so it will exert the pressure and will be having the motion towards left. This is how 3 positions and 4 ports direction control valve works. And now let us see circuits. Then first one is meter in circuit. So basically meter in circuit works on the principle that it will meter the oil which is coming into the circuit. So that means it will control the flow of oil which is coming from inside the cylinder. So that means whatever oil coming from the reservoir, we are going to control the flow of the oil that is coming into cylinder. So that is called as meter in circuit. So let us see the various components of this circuit. So this is the flow lines, or the you can see here forward or pressurized line, then this return line. This is the hydraulic pump which is connected to motor. This is the pressure relief valve. This is the DC valve we have seen, 2 position and 4 ports. Then you can see here this is the throttle valve. So throttle valve means we can adjust the flow of this valve by adjusting the knob. Here you can see. And this is the check valve. So check valve will allow the flow of the oil through only one direction, so it will not allow the flow into another direction. And these lines are connected to these 2 ports. Here you can see one port is there, and this is the another port. And these are the 3 indicators which will indicate the pressure. And this pressure relief valve is used if the pressure of the system increases the set pressure in the pressure relief valve. So in that case, if at all the pressure increases as to the pressure relief valve, this pressure relief valve will get open, and whatever excess oil is there, that will flow through this valve and it will go to the reservoir. So this is how this pressure relief valve works. So whatever excess oil is there which is flowing, so that excess oil is given a path and that will go to reservoir. This is how the pressure relief valve works. So in this position of DC valve, oil will flow in this direction. So here there are 2 ways are here. Either it will go to straight line, or either there is a diversion. So if at all it goes in this diversion, there is a check valve. So this check valve will not allow the flow through in this direction because of this check valve. So the oil has to go through this throttle valve, and in this throttle valve, by rotating the knob, we can control the flow of the oil that is coming to this cylinder. So whatever oil coming from the reservoir, we are metering it or we are controlling that. So the oil has to pass through this throttle wall, it will not pass through this check wall. Okay, so this is how we are metering the oil coming into the circuit. And on the other hand, the piston will start moving at the backward direction. So whatever oil is there in this compartment, that will generate the pressure and it will start flowing through this port and through this line like this, and it will go to the reservoir. So this is how this meter in circuit will work. So in another position, that means in this position where this wall is having another position, so this port is connected to this port. So here we'll be having this motion. So the piston will move at the left hand side. So here, due to this throttle wall, we can control the flow of the oil, but in the another direction there is a check wall. So through this check wall, since there is no resistance, oil will flow directly through this branch to the tank. From this port to this port and to the tank. This is how meter in circuit will work. Now there is another type of circuit called as meter out. That means we are metering or we are controlling the flow of the oil which is going out of the hydraulic cylinder. So here there is a change in the arrangement, you can see here. So everything is same here. So what will happen when DC wall is in this position? The oil will start pumping. It will go to the oil will go to from this port to this port to this cylinder. It will enter in the cylinder. So we will be having the backward motion here. Then in this at this port, we can see here there is a check wall. Okay, so oil will not go through this direction. So here there is only one direction is there through this throttle wall, and we can control the flow of the oil to this throttle wall. So whatever oil that is going out of the cylinder, that is controlled by using this flow control wall or throttle wall. So oil will come through this line to this reservoir. So this is how meter in circuit will work. Okay, so guys, that was about circuits, meter in and meter out. Thank you.